cheer with a very great welcome make a cherry feast. Here, welcoming you all in this beautiful scenario of Awadh College Gate, Daroga Kheda branch, Standard 8th Razzmatazz. With your full excitement and joy, I, Janvi Shrivastava of Awadh College Gate, Standard 8th, going to give you some information about the activity which will be performed by the students of class 8 in this online Razzmatazz. As the activity which will be performed by the student must be taken from the topics which they have already studied in their pre-assessment part 2 course. Means, for example, if a certain topic have got teach to the student or have got taught to the student will perform the same topic in the Razzmatazz. So, now moving on forward, we'll be going to discuss something about the activities which will be held today. So, from starting, our activities will as follows. English activity, which consists of the explanation of its grammar portion of the topic tense, in which the students will explain about the tense topic in brief, about its type and its subtypes. So now moving on forward, our next activity is related to our mother tongue, none other than Hindi, in which the student will perform about the Indian state known as Kanyakumari, which is very famous for the tourism place and consists of large number of temples. So for further you have to wait for a while, as you'll get more information after waiting for a minute. So now moving on forward, our next activity will consist of the mathematical operations. I seems like that you all will have some problems in solving maths, but today the students of class 8 will going to make mathematics as a fun, who will be going to explain the different parts of mathematics, either they are of geometry or arithmetic, to you very easily. So now moving on forward, our next activity will of science consist of safe experiment of the topics which the students are studying in their pre-assessment part 2. Moving on forward, our next activity will of social studies consist of different parts of SST. Can be history, geography or civics. For example, if a topic have chosen by history, so for example, if we are now studying a chapter women, caste and empowerment in history. So from that, these students can choose a certain topic known as Sati Pratha for the explanation, and they will be explain you further on with their full force to explain it to you. So now moving on forward, our welcome song will perform by the students for welcoming you. And now our next activity will full of fun, joy and excitement. As you have seen, all these activities till now is consist of some learning, but that of subject. But this activity, known as cultural activity, will consist of the information given by the students of class 8 about the two famous states of India, known as Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya, by their dance and their melodious singing, consist of the different facts, means about Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh physical and climatical condition, the people living in Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. So now moving on forward, as I have given you much more information as I know, So, for knowing much more better, you have to wait for a while. And now I would like to hand over this mic to my friend and co-anchor Shamia Khan, and she'll be going to explain you further on for the topic or the English activity. But firstly, we have to call very important person or very important root of Awadh Collegiate, who told us to be brave in all the conditions and all the situations, who told us that if your dreams don't make you fail, then they are too small. None other than our respected director ma'am. Now I would like to respect our respected director ma'am to please come up on the stage from the beginning of all the activities, and please address your speech, and please told us some important and motivational thoughts. So from your blessings ma'am, we can achieve a very good conditions and a very good things in our life.
Loving students and their loving parents. The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. Wishing all the students and parents a very cheerful and blissful morning today. We all are here to showcase the talent of my loving students in the program of Razzmatazz. As you know, a school is performing one or the other activities to motivate the students to become creative and grow their personality. Also, I believe that good grooming is integral and impeccable style is a must if we don't look the part. No one will want to give us their time or their money. That's why the personality grooming and enhancement have always been my priority. I am sure the guardians of my children will today cherish this moment of Razzmatazz with all of us by giving their precious time and with their presence. They will make this Razzmatazz a live movement. Yes, students, there are 100 reasons to do something and another 100 reasons to not to do it. The choices are yours. You make design your life. Yes, dear students, I know it's very difficult to sit at one place and bound yourself. But we all are helpless during this difficult time. That's why I regularly emphasize in addressing in my speeches during assembly and suggesting you for prayer, God prayer. Yes, remembering to God is only solution. Only He is with us to listen and to solve our problems. Therefore, feel this miracle of this God-made universe. Second thing, your half-yearly course and exams are over and proceedings for finals. So, your PA2 exams is nearby and then your finals will be there. I know you done well and doing your best. With this hope that God will fulfill our wishes and we will meet and celebrate all activities physically at the place of virtually. And today, the students have performed very well with the guidelines given by the teachers. So thank you teachers for being with us, guiding to the students a lot. So, and next time we will perform our Razzmatazz virtually again. So till that, stay healthy and keep flourishing. God bless you all my students and keep flourishing.
Welcome you today. We are so happy and delighted to have you here this day. Your presence amidst us give us happiness. As a reason, we all sing, welcome you today. Welcome, and delighted to have you here this day. Thank you.
Rise and shine. A very warm good morning to everyone. I hope you all are fine, happy and healthy with your friends and family. My name is Shamia Khan and now it's time for one of the best subjects, that is none other than English Razzmatazz, in which we are gonna tell you about the tense and its different kinds. Now I want to call my one of the smart fellow classmates, Soumya Vasti, who will announce the name of the students who have participated in English. Thank you and have a nice day.
To everyone, today we are going to know about a very special topic from English grammar, that is tenses, which will be taught to you by me, Soumya Vasti, and my dear friends. They are Arpita, Akashi, Shamya, Jyotsna, Vartika, Princey, Mehak, Harsh and Abhishek. Let's start with our topic. The first question which stands in your mind shall be, what are tenses? So see, in grammar, tenses is a category that expresses time difference. Tenses are usually manifested by the use of specific forms of verbs, particularly in their conjunction pattern. The main tenses found in many languages include the past, present and future. Let us see what are tenses. Tenses are those through which we get to know that at what period of time activity have taken place. Means that activity have been done earlier, or activities is going on, or activity will done in future. See examples. Our first example is Ram was eating, then Ram is eating, and then Ram will eat. See, to our first example, Ram was eating means Ram have been eat the food. He is not eating right now. He have eat yesterday or 1 hour ago at any time, but he have eaten. He is not eating now. The activity have been done. Our second example is Ram is eating. He is eating means the activity of eating is in process. The activity of eating is going on. It is going on at present time. The third is Ram will eat means Ram have not eat yet. Ram is also not eating now. He will eat in future. Let's see to the examples. One more example we shall make. They are, first one is Vartika was playing yesterday means that she was playing yesterday. Our second example, Vartika is playing today means Vartika is playing right now. And then third, Vartika will play means that Vartika have not played yet. She is not playing right now also. She will play in future. Okay, I hope you understand the tenses very well. Let's give the parts of tenses. See, there are 3 parts of tenses, which include the first tense is past tense, second is of present tense, and third is of future tense. In past tense, we always use was, as was defines to the activity which have been done earlier, which is not going on right now, which have been done earlier only. Fine. The second is present tense, means the active in present tense we use is, means is defines to the activity which is going on, which is in process. It is yet in process. Right. Then in third is of future tense, means in future tense we use will. Will what defines? Will defines to the activity which will done in future. Let's see the examples. Mohan was running yesterday. Means that Mohan was running yesterday. The activity of running have been done yesterday only. Now he is not running. The activity of running have been done earlier. Fine. Second example we can take that Mohit was playing cricket yesterday. Mohit was playing cricket. The activity of playing have been done earlier. Fine. I hope you have understand the past tense. Let's come to present tense. Shyam is running today. Shyam is running. The activity of running is in process at right now. Means he is running. The activity of running is in process. He is running right now. Fine. Let's see to one more example of present tense. That it can be Shyam is playing cricket right now. Means Shyam is playing right now cricket. The activity of playing cricket is in process. He is playing right now. Right? I hope you have understood the past tense, present tense as well. Let's get the future tense. Vinita will run tomorrow means Vinita will run tomorrow. She have not run yet. She is not running also right now. She will run in future. Means have not run yet. She will run tomorrow. Means after today she will run tomorrow. Let's take one more example for future tense as Mohit will play cricket 1 week ago. Not after. Means Mohit will play cricket after 1 week. Means that though this sentence we are getting to know that Mohit will play 1 week after cricket. Means after 1 week Mohit is going to play cricket. He have not played cricket yet. He is not playing also cricket right now. He will play. Means Mohit will play cricket. I hope you understand the concept of tenses, that what are tenses, as well as you shall have understand that what are parts of tenses. Now, some parts will be explained to you by my dear friends, which I have introduced you with earlier. Till then, thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Good morning to all of you. I hope you all are happy and healthy with your friends and family. Today I will tell you about past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. So what is past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense? It is a type of past tense and past tense is a type of tense. So let's start. What is past perfect tense? Past perfect tense means the action which is started in the past continue till the another action in the past. For example, I had met him before the party. Past perfect tense means कोई भी काम करने से पहले कोई और काम हो चुका past में. So the example is she had met him before the party. वो उनसे पार्टी से पहले ही मिल चुकी. So always remember that for converting a Hindi sentence into an English which is a past perfect tense, we have to add had with the verb ka second form, that is met, as we have used here met. So let's move to another, which is past perfect continuous tense. It shows that the action occurred in the past continued till the another action in the past. For example, I had been working in the company for 5 years when I got the promotion. मुझे जब promotion मिला तब से मैं उस कंपनी में अब तक काम कर रही हूँ. It means that जो action past में शुरू होता है और वो past किसी और action से पहले तक होता रहा, उसे हम लोग past perfect continuous tense कहते हैं. Always remember that for converting a past perfect continuous tense into an English sentence, we use had been plus verb ka ing form. I hope you all have understood this. Thank you and have a nice day.
Past continuous tense to say that somebody was in the middle of doing something at a certain time. For example, she was singing when you saw her. Past indefinite tense. Past indefinite tense is used to indicate and finish or complete action tags that happen at a specific point in the time in the past. For example, you used to shop in that market. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Welcome back in this beautiful scenario. Today, our topic is tenses. In tenses, we are not exactly getting to talk about tenses. We are going to talk about present tense. Not exactly present tense, but the kinds of present tense. But only two. They are simple present tense and present indefinite tense. Simple present tense. Simple present tense is used for a time period, like every day, every time, after a period of time, like for a month, twice a week, once in a month, etc. Let's understand with an example. Like she loves to play basketball. Means she was loving to play basketball. She is loving to play basketball, and she will love to play basketball. Okay, if you don't understand about this example, let's take another example. That is, she used to play tennis every morning. Means yesterday she was also used to play tennis. Today she had played, and tomorrow she will be playing tennis. Okay, now I think according to me, you understand about simple present tense. Now our topic pass on to present indefinite tense. Present indefinite tense, nothing but simple. It is used It is also used for a time period, but twice a week, once a month, every day, every time. But it is also used for general truth, like the sun rises in the east. It will rise in east and it will set in the west. Okay. So let's take an example. I write a letter every day. मतलब मैंने कल भी लेटर लिखा था, आज भी लिखा है और कल भी लिखूंगी. Let's take another example. Radha sing a sweet song every day. Means राधा ने कल भी एक गाना गाया था, आज भी गाया और वो कल भी गाएगी और वो ऐसे पास ऑन करती रहेगी, मतलब गाती रहेगी डेली. Hope you all understand about these topics.
My topic is present continuous tense and present perfect tense. Present continuous tense is used to say when we are in the middle of the action. For example, I am getting the lunch ready. I am getting is a present continuous tense. Second is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense is used to express when the action has been completed. For example, the boy have learned their lesson. Have learned is a present perfect tense. You can easily identify the present continuous tense if there is in the sentence if there is, are, am plus ing form, and you can easily identify present perfect tense if in the sentence if there is have, has plus verb second form. Thank you.
Today I am here to explaining you future continuous tense. So let's start the topic. Definition of the future continuous tense. The future continuous tense denotes an action over a period of time. It means that sometimes in the future we will be in the middle of an action. Future continuous tense means that the work we are doing is done in future. For example, he'll be working all day tomorrow. He will be taking an exam next week. Means he will be taking the exam next week. Means the work done by he done her work next week. This is called a future continuous tense. They will be learning new lesson next week. They will be watching a movie next Sunday. This is called future continuous tense. Thank you.
The future continuous tense expresses an action at a particular moment in the future. The action will have started before that moment, but it will not have finished at the moment. Example, tomorrow I will start work at 2 p.m. and stop work at 6 p.m. Thank you.
We are going to discuss about future perfect continuous tense. What is future perfect continuous tense? Future perfect continuous tense means the action that going until the future. It is also known as future perfect progressive tense. It consists will plus have plus be plus verb present participle verb root plus ing. Let's take some example of future perfect continuous tense. First, in November, I will have been working at my company for 3 years. Will have been waiting consists as a future perfect tense. Let's take third example. At 5 o'clock, I will have been waiting for 30 minutes. Will have been waiting consists as a future perfect continuous tense. Let's take third example. On Thursday, I will have known you for a week. Will have known consists as a future perfect continuous tense. Thank you.
Is future indefinite tenses. Future indefinite tenses is used to express an action that has not taken place yet and will take place in future. For example, they will meet us tomorrow. Will is future indefinite tenses. You can easily identify future indefinite tenses when there is will, shall in the first form of verb is used.
Perfect tense. We use future perfect tense to tell about that actions that happens before a period of time in the future. We have to simply define that the future perfect tense is a form of construction that is used to describe or plan to happen before a time with reference in the future. For example, I will have finished this course. And the second example is it will have stopped raining. And the most sentence is that action steps about complete in a future and before another future event. And the rule of future perfect tense is will have plus past participle.
Welcome back. Hope you all are fit and fine, and I hope that you have understood about tenses and kind of tenses and the sub kinds of tenses. So we'll meet again. This is the end of our English activity of present tense. Thank you and have a marvelous day ahead.
As we all know that this mathematics is a bit time taking but is very interesting, and it's very easy to solve as well for some person. So the students of class 8th is now going to perform mathematics activity to make mathematics a bit easier for you to understand. So now the students of class 8th is going to perform several topics from geometry as well as from arithmetic. For example, I am going to tell you all something about types of quadrilaterals from the geometry portion of mathematics. And next is Ridyanshi. She will be going to tell you all something about the playing with numbers, in which she is going to explain how we can solve the different types of magic squares. So now moving on forward, next is of Prince Mayank Singh. He will be going to explain about different types of parallelogram. Now moving on forward, the next performance will be given by Abhinav Ranjan, in which he will be going to explain something about the profit and loss, a major issues in these days to solve by the students. Now moving on forward to our next performance, which is given by the Siddharth of class 8th, in which he will be going to tell about time and work topic from arithmetic portion of mathematics. So with this, let's see how the performance of class 8 will be. Are you able to understand it or not? So let's watch it. Good morning everyone. Today in this mathematics class we'll be going to discuss about types of quadrilaterals, from which we'll be going to discuss what is quadrilateral also. So what is quadrilateral? I'm going to explain it through this figure only, because parallelogram also comes in the category of quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral is a figure having 4 points A, B, C, D, from which no three of them are collinear, and its line segments AB, BC, CD and DA must not intersect each other except their end point. Then only that figure will be called as quadrilateral. So now moving on forward, next is parallelogram, a category of quadrilateral in which opposite sides of a quadrilateral must be parallel to them. Then only that a quadrilateral came to known as a parallelogram. For example, in this figure AB, the opposite side to DC is parallel to DC, and AD is parallel to CB. In this case, this is known as parallelogram. Now moving on forward toward the rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram in which all the sides are equal. Means the quadrilateral whose opposite sides are parallel and all the sides are equal is came to known as rhombus. For example, AB, AD, BC, CB and BA are equal to each other, whereas AD is parallel to CB and AB is parallel to DC. So with this, it is came to known as rhombus.
So our topic is magic square. So what is magic square? square divided into a small square, each containing a number in that figure in each vertically, horizontally, diagonally row added up to the same value is called magic square. And what is magic constant? The integer of the sum of magic square and the constant sum is called magic constant. So for the example, I'm gonna tell you that what is the easier method to find the magic square from the number 1 to 9. By using this tricky formula Hapchick-Fad, write the number below the alphabet serial wise. This is the magic square box. Write the alphabet clockwise like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and I. So what is the number written below? A is 8. Write over there 8. B is 3. C is 4. D is 9. E is 2. F is 7. G is 6. H is 1. I is 5. Now let's check the sum. 8 plus 3 plus 4 equal to 15. 1 plus 5 plus 9 equal to 15. 6 plus 7 plus 2 equal to 15. 4 plus 9 plus 2 equal to 15. 3 plus 5 plus 7 equal to 15. 8 plus 1 plus 6 equal to 15. Now let's check diagonally. 8 plus 5 plus 2 equal to 15. 6 plus 5 plus 4 equal to 15. So this is the easier method to find the magic square from the number 1 to 9 by using this tricky formula Hapchick-Fad. Thank you.
Hello, good morning to all of you. Myself Prince Mayankson. I am the student of our college at Daroga Khera branch class 8. I am standing at the front of you all to represent my maths topic parallelogram. In this topic, I will tell you about the properties of a rectangle and the properties of a rhombus. Firstly, I start with the properties of a rectangle. A rectangle has 4 equal internal angles. An angle of a rectangle measures 90 degrees. Two diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other at the same length. Two diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other at the different angles. A rectangle has opposite angles equal. Next, I am telling you about the properties of a rhombus. All sides of a rhombus are equal. Opposite sides are parallel. The diagonals of a rectangle bisect each other at the 90 degree. Two adjacent angles of a rectangle of a rhombus measures up to 180 degree. Thank you.
Morning to one and all present over here. My name is Abhinav Ranjan. I am in a standard in our college at Daroga Khera branch, and today I am here to tell you about profit and loss. What is profit and loss? Profit means when the selling price is greater than the cost price, then we get the profit. And loss means when the selling price is lesser than the cost price, then we get the loss. Here is a balance. In this balance, you can see that the heavier side is the profit and the lower side is the loss. For example, Hari bought an almirah for rupees 1,500. He sold that almirah for rupees 1,600. So he get the 100 rupees profit. And loss, the Ravi bought bike for rupees 75,000 and he sold that bike for rupees 74,000. So he get the 1,000 rupees loss. Now I am going to tell you about cost price and selling price and how to find gain percent and loss percent. Cost price. The amount for which an article is bought is called cost price. So selling price. The amount for which an article is sold is called selling price. How to find gain percent? To find gain percent, we have to put the gain upon cost price into 100. To find the loss percent, we have to put the loss upon cost price into 100. Thank you and have a nice day.
Hello friends, good morning. Myself Siddharth Yadav from class 8th. Today I am here to tell you something about my topic, and my topic is time and work. As you all know, time and work are both very important part of our daily needs. Without these two, we cannot imagine a man. Let us introduce you something about my topic by the help of example. Let us assume Asriyan's work in a workshop in 10 days and make a flower pot. So tell me how much work is he done in one day? For finding the work done in one day is 1 upon n. So according to the question, if Sriyan's work done in one day is 1 upon 10, so time taken by him to finish the work is 10 days. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Palak Khare. I study in Standard 8th in Awadh Collegiate GK branch. The subject of our activity is science. We will show you the activities related to science. With me, there are 3 members more in my group. Their names are Mirali Gajera, Kranti Singh and Anuj Kumar. They and me will show you the activities related to our science subject. So let's get started with it.
My name is Mirali Gajera. Today my topic is IVF. What is the meaning of IVF? IVF stands for in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization is the process of fertilization where an egg is combined with the sperm outside the body. IVF works by using a combination of medicine and surgical procedures. So now, what is the process of IVF? In the process of the IVF, the first step is the stimulation of ovaries. The second step is the egg retrieval from ovaries, in which eggs are taken out from the ovaries. Then, third step is the fertilization of eggs, in which eggs are fertilized in the testes. Then fourth step is the embryo maturation, in which embryos are matured in the testes. Then fifth step is the transfer of embryo to uterus, in which matured embryos are transferred to the uterus. So this is the whole process of IVF. So now you think that what are the advantages of the IVF? So the advantages of the IVF are: first, IVF has many patients who would be otherwise unable to conceive. Then second, it has been used for a long time and has a self-track record. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good morning everyone, my name is Kranti Singh and I am a student of class 8A. Today my science topic is female reproductive organ. The female reproductive organ consists of ovaries, oviducts, which is also known as fallopian tubes, uterus and vagina. There are 2 ovaries present in the body, near the kidneys. At maturity, the egg cells produced by the ovary is released into the oviducts. There are 2 oviducts, one on each side of ovary. They receive the mature egg from the ovary and carry them from ovary to uterus. If the sperms are present in the oviducts, fertilization of an egg with the sperm takes place. Uterus is a thick-walled muscular organ where both the oviducts opens. In uterus, the development of a baby takes place for 9 months. Uterus opens into a narrow tube structure called vagina. Vagina serves as a birth canal during the birth of a child. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Today we'll show you an activity in which the sound will be created by a rubber band. Due to vibrations, for this we'll need a rubber band, a set of pen or pencil and a box. We'll take the box and place the rubber band on the longer side of the box. Then we will take 2 pens. Okay, Then we will place them on the both side of the box. Okay, like this. As you can see, I have placed them. Then we will pull the rubber band. We will pull the rubber band and release it. Have you heard a vibration of the rubber band and some sound? Yes? If no, wait, let me show you once more. Like, we will pull this and we will release it. A sound created by a rubber band due to vibrations is this. And this was my activity. I hope you liked it. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I am Anush from class 8C. I am telling about Jataran. He eats 5 cups. He was not filling water. This was not good sound create. This is create good sound. Thanks.
Good morning everyone. My name is Devika Sharma. Today my group is performing the activity of social study. Sati system was a religious practice among Hindus in which the widow was expected to burn herself alive on her husband's pyre. The widow who performed this act was known as Sati, which means true. With the efforts of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, this practice was banned by the law in 1829 by the British government. Good morning everyone. My name is Devika Sharma. Today I will tell you about the women condition in ancient India. Life of the women in India 200 years ago was very difficult. Women at that time were not have the freedom. They were confined into their homes. During that time, the child marriage was very common and sati was widely spread. Today, I will tell you about the child marriage and sati pratha.
My name is Anshika and today I will tell you about SC and ST. And now I will tell you about what is SC. SC means scheduled caste and ST means scheduled tribe. Scheduled tribe. Scheduled tribe was first appeared in a constitution of India. Scheduled tribe is termed as the tribal communities that are underdeemed in Article 342. There are 24% of a literate population of scheduled tribe and 8.5% of female population of scheduled tribe. Now going to our next topic, that is scheduled caste. Scheduled caste are the caste that has a lowest caste known as the lowest caste and in the lack of infrastructure and untouchables. There are some of the benefits that given to the SC and ST. Government jobs, free civil services coaching, free government food and housing security. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Shadasan from class 8 and today I am going to tell you about the Delhi and the Delhi monuments. So Delhi is the beautiful city and it is the capital of the India. The Delhi is an old city because it was built during the ancient time. The Delhi has two parts. One is Old Delhi, which was built during the Mughal period, and New Delhi, which has many parks and many new buildings. It was also known as the heart of the India. Now I am going to tell you about the Delhi monuments. So I have chosen 5 monuments, which is Parliament House, Red Fort, Qutub Minar, India Gate and Jama Masjid. So let's just start with Parliament House. It was built in 1921. It was established by Edwin Lutyens and Herbert Baker. Parliament House is one of the most impressive buildings in Delhi. It is located at the end of the Sansad. Red Fort. It was built in 12 May 1639. It was built by Shah Jahan. The Red Fort complex was the palace fort of the Shah Jahanabad, the new capital of the Emperor of India, Shah Jahan. Qutub Minar. It was built in 1193. It was established by Qutbuddin Aibak. This tower was built to celebrate the Muslim dominance after the defeat of the Delhi last Hindu ruler.
First Chandra Roller, India Gate. India Gate is built in 10 February 1921. It was established by Edwin Lutyens. It is the most important monument in Delhi. It is the most important monument in Delhi. It is the memorial of commemoration of more than 80,000 Indian soldiers who were killed during the World War I. It is also known as the All World War Memorial. Jama Masjid. It was built in 1656. It was established by Shah Jahan. It is an eloquent reminder of the Mughal Emperor Favor. Its spacious courtyard holds thousands of offers of the prayer here. It is also known as the Masjid.
Name of my activity is agro-based industries. Agro-based industries. What are agro-based industries? They are dependent on the agricultural products. Agricultural products as raw material. For example, cotton textiles. They use cotton as their raw material and process it to make dresses. They also manufacture the food products like cooking oil, sugar, tea, coffee, rasna and real juices and dairy products too. That and much more, thousands of things we use in our daily life. We use coconut for making the coconut oil, such as we use cotton to make clothes. These are agro-based industries. These are known as agro-based industries. This was my activity. Thank you.
To everyone, this is Arpita, still studying at Jawad College at Daroga Khera branch of the Standard 8th. Today, we are gathered here for a quick discussion on the topic merits and demerits of Indian and American or USA farms. Let's start. Merits of USA farms. Farmers in America have uses big machinery in their farm. Indian farm. The soil fertility of India is considered to be very good for agriculture. USA farms. Farmers in USA are well educated or they are having higher education of agriculture. Indian farms. The soil fertility is the biggest advantage of India. USA farms. They have very little labor in their farms. They use tractors, seed drillers, levelers, and other tools to perform various operations. Indian farms. The agriculture value chain is much crucial for the food security of India. USA farms. Now, a topic goes on to from merits to demerits of Indian and USA farms. Let's talk about demerits of USA farms. USA farms. Farmers in USA uses so much of fertilizers or chemical fertilizers. Because of it, soil loses its fertility very fast. So they need to spend so much money in their fields. Indian farms. A major drawback of Indian farm is water development and irrigation strategy. About 70% of Indian population is doing agriculture. So some of the farmers are now only depend on the monsoon. Now our next point. USA farms. Farmers in USA uses so much machine in a huge quantity. So for their maintenance they have to spend a lot of money. Indian farms. Because of loan for the seeds, the farmer has to lose their land and they stop doing agriculture as they are not well educated or they are having small fields. They are not having enough money to buy the seeds. So they bargain or they take some of the land, from the money lender or back. Thank you. I hope that you all have understood about this topic. Thank you and have a marvelous day.
शुभ प्रभात। मैं समृद्धि तिवारी कक्षा 8 की छात्रा हूँ और आप सभी लोगों का इस राजमटाक 2020 में हार्दिक दिल से स्वागत करती हूँ। मेरे साथ मेरे दोस्त उर्वशी, ओम, स्नेहा, विष्णु और विमल भी हैं। आज हम लोग आप सबको कन्याकुमारी के विषय में कुछ बताएंगे। कन्याकुमारी तमिलनाडु प्रांत के सुदूर दक्षिण तट पर बसा एक शहर है। यह हिंद महासागर, बंगाल की खाड़ी तथा अरब सागर का संगम स्थल है, जहां हिंद सागर अपने विभिन्न रंगों से मनोरम छटा बिखेरते हैं। भारत के सबसे दक्षिण छोर पर बसा कन्याकुमारी वर्षों से कला, संस्कृति, सभ्यता का प्रतीक रहा है। भारत के पर्यटक स्थल के रूप में भी इस स्थान का अपना ही महत्व है। यहाँ का सूर्योदय और सूर्यास्त का नजारा बेहद आकर्षक होता है। आइए उसके बारे में और जानते हैं।
सूरज का गोला पानी में डूबता जा रहा था और फिर वह पानी में डूब गया। मैं वहाँ से चल दिया। समुद्र में पानी भर रहा था। तट की चौड़ाई धीरे धीरे कम हो रही थी। एक लहर ने मेरे पैर को आकर भिगो दिया। मैंने जूते हाथ में ले लिए। रात, कैप होटल का लॉन। नीचे सड़क पर टॉर्च जलाता बुझाता हुआ एक आदमी, दक्षिण पूर्व के क्षितिज में एक जहाज की मध्यम रोशनी। कुछ देर में एक गीत के स्वर सुनाई देने लगे। एक कॉन्वेंट स्कूल की बस आकर होटल के कंपाउंड में रुक गई। बस में बैठी लड़कियां एक अंग्रेजी गीत गा रही थी। उस गीत को सुनते हुए और दूर जहाज की रोशनी के ऊपर चमकते हुए सितारे को देखा। गहरी सांस में सुरमई रंग में रंगी वह आवाज मन की गहराई को छू रही।
मल्हार मेरी नाव को घाट की ओर ले जाने के लिए राजी हो गया। वह रास्ता बहुत खतरनाक था। नाव इस तरह लहरों के ऊपर उड़ जाती और लगता कि नीचे आते ही पलट जाएगी। फिर भी हम घाट के बहुत करीब पहुंच चुके थे। ग्रेजुएट नवयुवक पत्थरों की ओर इशारा कर बता रहा था कि यहाँ आत्महत्याएं बहुत होती हैं। कन्याकुमारी के मंदिर के पूजों की घंटियां सुनाई दे रही थी। भक्तों की एक मंडली अंदर जाने से पहले मंदिर की दीवार के पास रुककर प्रणाम कर रही थी। सरकारी मेहमान गेस्ट हाउस की तरफ से लौट रहे थे। हमारी नाव और किनारों के बीच हल्की धूप कई नावों के पाल और कडल काकों के पंख एक से चमक रहे थे। मेरा ध्यान तो बस की टाइम टेबल पर लगा था। तीसरी बस 4:50 पर।
स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का जन्म 12 जनवरी सन 1863 को हुआ। उनका घर का नाम नरेंद्र दत्त था। उनके पिता विश्वनाथ दत्त पाश्चात्य सभ्यता में विश्वास रखते थे। वे अपने पुत्र नरेंद्र को भी अंग्रेजी पढ़ाकर पाश्चात्य सभ्यता के ढंग पर ही चलाना चाहते थे। नरेंद्र जी की बुद्धि बचपन से बड़ी तीव्र और परमात्मा को पाने की लालसा की प्रबल थी। 4 जुलाई सन 1902 को उन्होंने देह त्याग किया।
Everyone, today we'll be going to discuss something about the northeastern state of India, known as Arunachal Pradesh. As you're seeing this banner of Arunachal Pradesh behind me, as well as I dressed up in the folk style of Arunachal Pradesh, and I am going to tell you all something about the Arunachal Pradesh, its beauty and attraction through a poetry. So let's start it. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of Mithuns and the hardworking people. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of Mithuns and the hardworking people, where the hardworking people worship the rising sun and the moon. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of hardworking people and the Mithuns. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of Siang and the land of famous Dawnlit Mountain. It's the land of hardworking people and the land of Mithuns. Arunachal Pradesh is the land where a boy have to ride his cycle about 500 kilometers to his town to fulfill his needs. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of hardworking people and the land of Mithuns. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of meditation with inspiration, where the first rising rays of sun makes you wake up in the morning with its full force to make your morning good. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of meditation with inspiration, where the first rising rays of sun makes you wake up in the morning with its full force to make your morning good. Arunachal Pradesh is the land of hard-working people and the land of Mithans. At last, I want to say two more lines about Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh is the poetry. Arunachal Pradesh is the poetry which makes India with its distinct languages, and the different geographical conditions. Arunachal Pradesh is the poetry which makes India by the distinct languages and the different geographical conditions exist in Arunachal Pradesh. With this, I want to end this poetry. Thank you and have a nice day.
Sakini pidan lesan Pepawani sumnisu Sakini pidan lesan Pepawani sumnisu Sonani sonani chayo Parane hirhirani bhave Oh ayala juni bosani chayo Namni juni bosani chayo Sakini pidan lechat Pepawani sumnisul Sonani sonani chayo Parani hirhirani bhave Oh ayala juni bosani chayo Namni juni bosani chayo Oh awa bosato dhakiyani thale
everyone, this is Arpita, still studying at the Collegiate Daroga Khera branch of the Standard 8C. Today on this beautiful day or in this beautiful scenario, I am going to sing a song that is composed by the Nairas tribe. It is the traditional song of Nairas tribe which live in the forest of Arunachal Pradesh. The song lyrics are Rekambo Padago Engoja Denambo Yamigo Engoja Dintatomin Sabramingo Arunachal Nyode Patu Jenir Kangama Dintatomin Sabramingo Arunachal Nyode Patu Jenir Kangama Mohabani Papanam Arunachal Rekambo Padago Engoja Renambo Yamigo Engoja. Thank you and have a marvelous day ahead.
Now I want to call our Honorable Principal Ma'am for her speech. Please welcome her.
A very good morning, my loving children and my dear parents.
We heartily welcome you all once again on the second session of Razzmatazz. Conduction of Razzmatazz will surely turn out to be boon for the children, as it does not only provide them an opportunity to express their views in various activities, but also reduce the pressure of academic work. It's a harbinger of a student's development. It also helps them to realize their potential, their strength, and their shortcomings, on which we have to work together as a teamwork to bring out their best. Someone has rightly said that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. It's well known that if we involve a student in some activity, he will not only enjoy but also remember it throughout his life. So nothing can be better idea to get the active participation of students. Dear parents, with God's grace, second term teaching and learning is on progress. So it's my humble request, kindly get register your ward if he or she is left because of any reason in this pandemic time. Please motivate your ward to be in school uniform while attending online classes. Please make a point to keep regular an eye on studies of your ward. Please motivate your ward for spoken English. All these activities will hone their skills. So let's join our hands together and strive for better tomorrow. Thank you. A very good morning, my loving children.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your precious time. Now it's time for ending our razzmatazz. But before ending this, I want to say 3 golden words, that is, love yourself, speak to yourself, and face yourself. Even we can call these 3 golden words are diamond words, because these 3 things are very important to live our precious life in this whole world. I hope you all have enjoyed our performance. Stay gold, everyone. Thank you and have a nice day.
Listen up now, listen to us. We are the